So hopefully I included everything in this wrap up, but if I'm editing and I realize that I really messed something up or forgot something, you guys are gonna get a voiceover. Yeah, I feel like these monthly wrap-ups are just a chance for me to kind of play around with my video editing and see what fun things I can throw in. So that might be a voiceover if I really mess this up. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Big City B. I'm B for those of you who are just joining for the first time, and those of you who are returning again. Thank you so much for coming back in. This is the second month for my monthly book wrap up. I know it feels like time is flying by. I can't believe that May is already over. Yes, when you're stuck inside all day, every day, you don't know what time it is. Is it morning? Is it the night? What day is it? What's the year? Where am I? Those are all the things I'm feeling right now. Okay, enough getting off topic. Let's get into what you are all here for, and that is my wrap up of what I read this month. So this month I was actually able to read 4 books, 1 book more than last month. Killing it. Also, I will admit that I just finished 2 of these books up within the last 3 days, so I was definitely procrastinating a little bit, but I got there, so that's all that matters. I'm also almost meeting my goal for like how many books I'm gonna read this year. My goal was 35 and I think I'm at 21, so I'm gonna go ahead and bump up my goal. I'm gonna bump up my goal to 48 books this year instead of 35. I'm hoping that's doable. That basically just means I have to read 4 books a month, which if I can put down Animal Crossing shouldn't be an issue, but that game is so freaking addictive. So now I'm gonna show you which books I read this month, and make sure you check out on the little line below how many honeypots I gave them. There will be a description of what those honeypots mean, again for everyone who needs them, because I have only done this once before, so if you need a reminder, make sure you check out the description below. On to the books that I read this month. This month, let me get out of the way. I was able to read Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens, Inconvenient Daughter by Lauren J. Sharkey, The Invincible Summer of Juniper Jones by Daven McQueen, and lastly, Asian and Pacific Short Stories by the Cultural and Social Center. So my summary for the month of May is that it was another good book. Another book, oh my gosh. Book and month together. That's the word I was trying to say, but they're 2 words and I need to slow down. So my summary for the month of May, it was another good month for books. Nothing below a 3 honeypot, which is fantastic. I didn't feel like I was wasting any of my time reading any of these stories, which, you know, always a plus if I don't feel like I'm wasting my time. The month of May was also the month of Asian and Pacific American heritage. So I tried to pick some books that were written by Asian and or Pacific American authors, or I went straight to the source and read Asian and Pacific short stories, which is what the last book I read was. It was an anthology of short stories collected from I think Australia, New Zealand, Thailand, Vietnam, China, Korea. Ooh, I feel like there was one more place that I'm forgetting. Well, check out that book if you want to fact check me. Oh, another thing that I got to do this month that was new was I actually got to read 2 advanced copies of books, and those were The Inconvenient Daughter by Lauren J. Sharkey, which is coming out July 3rd of 2020, and The Invincible Summer of Juniper Jones by Daven McQueen, which is coming out June 16th, 2020. So make sure you check those out because I would definitely recommend those books. Now I'm just gonna give you my brief little thoughts on all of the stories. So, Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens, loved it, thought it was great. summer read. Would definitely recommend if you are late to the train like I was. I know I'm super late on it, but it was fantastic and I would definitely recommend for everyone. The poetry was lovely, the setting was lovely, the characters were lovely, 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 lovely all around. The second book, The Inconvenient Daughter by Lauren J. Sharkey. I did like this book, although I felt that there were a few issues that I had with it. The main thing that bothered me during this book was simply the time jumps within it. Because this book is such a quick and easy read, it was hard for me to keep the timeline in my head, but I would recommend this book. Make sure you also check out this book on July 3rd, 2020. For the third book, The Invincible Summer of Juniper Jones by Daven McQueen. Also a really great summer read. This one hits you with the nostalgia of summers as a kid, but then also like turns around and kind of makes your heart break at the injustices of the 1950s, especially in the South, although a lot of it is still relevant now, and I was bawling like a baby for the last 20% of the book. Like, could not stop crying, except in one part of like the last part where I was like, yeah, you deserve it. But then the rest of the book, I was just like bawling. So another good read. So make sure you check that out on June 16th. And the final book, Asian and Pacific Short Stories. I did like this. Of course, it's an anthology of short stories, so there were some that I liked more than others. I really liked one of the stories from, it was either Korea or Japan. Japan was the last place I missed. Oh, good. Glad I figured that out. But it's called The Mustache, and I just thought that one was really good. And then I also liked both of the stories from Thailand. Yeah, so I would check this out. The only thing that I didn't like about this book was that it was a little, because these cultures have such different ways of storytelling, it was a little disorienting to go from country to country, and when you thought you really got in the rhythm of how a story was being told, you would change countries and it would change. And I also think some of the translations might not be the best, but I enjoyed it overall. Alrighty everyone, I think that's all I have for you. Make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button for all of my reviews that are coming out. Some of them on this list are gonna be coming out soon, so get excited. Also make sure you hit that like button if you like this monthly wrap up. If you have any suggestions for my videos, what you want to see more of. I had one person reach out to me and say that in my book reviews, they'd like to have the quotes that I use in the book reviews down in the description, so it's easy for them to find when I have a quote that they really enjoyed. So if you have any other suggestions, let me know down in the comment section. Alrighty everyone, I hope you're well and I'll see you next week. All the best always. Bye.